Hi, welcome to the Price Action Analyst YouTube channel. I thought I'd just do a quick video on Bitcoin. It might actually not be a quick video. I'm just interested in Bitcoin because it's been hovering around the 10,000 US dollar mark for a while now, and I thought without looking at it, I'll just record a video and just show people how I frame up price action and how I come to the determination of what I think Bitcoin's going to do. So I haven't looked at Bitcoin like in detail, but let's give it a go here and see if we can ascertain what's going on. So right away, the first thing I notice is that this was a breakout. Let's just go longer term here and see what's happened. So we all know that Bitcoin went to 19,000. It dropped off. It got as low as 3,000, let's say, consolidated for a while, and then price started to move up. And this was quite a strong uptrend. So you had 1, 2, 3 legs. And then prices started to consolidate in, a lot of people probably thought this was like some sort of flag or pennant pattern. It broke out to the downside. So, you know, if you'd have framed the price action like that, price broke out on the downside. And again, that retest of that trend line was very reliable as a short. But what we're looking at is price consolidating in a downtrend, and you know, you would have expected strength at different points around here. So the bottom of these wicks here, you would have expected strength, and you see that formed like an area of support. So, I mean, that's a general area of support. Look how many times price found support off that area. So once, twice, you know, you had a bit of messy price action there, but then you had support off that. And then prices come crashing through that level. And what's interesting is I can't do bars on this chart, which is unfortunate, but this would be what I call air. So when price just rockets up and there's no kind of retest of that price action, what that means, you've got trap traders there. And so when price eventually gets back here, you expect to see buying support. And so after all that time, what happened? As soon as price got down there, it rocketed back up. It left 1 wick, 2 wicks. So that was definitely an area of support. And so, I mean, you could have looked to trade that as a short-term trade, but it's worked in the long term, and prices come back up to the $10,000 mark. So that makes me bullish for 2 reasons. So you've had a really long downtrend. You had a false break outside. Prices come down and tested what you would expect to be, you know, possibly one of the lows, in that there was air there, but it's also, you know, retesting that bottom trail line, and has rocketed off of that. It's come up, tested the top of the trend line, and broke out. So I'm confident to say that this downward leg is now over. Normally you'll get a breakout and a retest. If you want, you can call that a really deep retest, but where it's come off of, that's unlikely. You know, that to me is definitely a low. Then you've got another breakout of this trend line. So just on that alone, I'd be, you know, if I'm trading this, my premise is for price to move up from here. Like I would not be shorting this anymore. Not unless, you know, it was very short-term time frame shorts. But what I'm not expecting price to come back down and test these levels. So just honing in on the most recent price action. Sorry, I'm just zooming in here. So we all know, or those of us that get price alerts, know that Bitcoin's been hovering around the 10,000 level for a while. It's just briefly cracked through 10,000, but come back inside 2 or 3 times now. But if you frame this price action up, this is a pennant pattern in an uptrend, and so my premise is to the upside, and you can see, price has gone up. It's come back to this where there might be air, and it's formed a wick, and you've got buying pressure off of that wick. It's tested these highs, you've got selling pressure. And every time it does this, the selling and the buying pressure is weaker and weaker, right? So as it's come back to this area here, you've got more buying pressure. And as it washed these high, you got selling pressure. Now, if price had continued lower here, if there'd have been a couple of, like this bar here without the wick, if there'd been, 1 or 2 more of those, that would start to change my premise. It would be a breakout on the downside with strength. Then I'd be looking to where this was going to go. I'd expect price maybe to test here or these previous lows here. But that's not what's happened. You've got a wash here, you've got a day of weakness, and then you've had buyers step in right away. And these, on the bottom of these candles, this candle, this candle, this candle, and now this candle, you've got wicks, which means that in this small area here in the short term, every time sellers are trying to step in, you've got buyers stepping in and overwhelming them. And this wick here means that I would expect a breakout here on the upside sort of within the next few days of price action. So for example, this bullish bar here, if you get that tomorrow, especially if it's higher than this here and it closes at its high, then it's broken out, like we're on the way. So you're either going to get, let me just zoom out here. Once you get that bullish price action, it's either going to just keep going or it's going to go up, show some weakness at some stage, come back and retest this. That's a great place to get long on the retest of that trend line, and then price is then away. And hopefully what we'll see when it does that is you'll see a spike in the volume here. So just in terms of what the volume has done, you had a lot, I think this was the COVID stuff as well. You had a lot of selling here. And price generally has been decreasing. So a decrease in volume in this consolidation is, I guess, what you want. What would have been nice is to see like increased price here as price was going up, but it also looks like it's dropped off. But price has dropped off in this consolidation, which is good. It's not a major factor, but I'd almost be, this wick here, I'd almost be prepared to get long. I would say if you zoom into these last 2 bars here, I would say any price action that kind of breaks that high there, I'd be willing to get long. Preemptive the breakout of that thing. You can wait for the breakout and see what the retracement looks like and hits that long, but when it hits when the retracement's going to be roughly the same price that you're getting in here. So I mean, the choice is yours, but that's what I'm seeing. So like I said, I haven't really looked at Bitcoin before, and I probably should have, but now that I've kind of looked at the chart and framed it up, it's pretty bullish price action. So there's a lot of people calling for, I mean, you don't know whether they're experts or whatever, but you can go into YouTube, search for Bitcoin, and see a lot of headings that say, Bitcoin's going to 20,000 and that. But yeah, if you get strong price action off this area here after what's happened here, yeah, prices coming up to test this 13,000-14,000 level for sure. And then if it breaks through, retest that, and it moves up again, yeah, it's coming for 20,000. And then it'll be interesting to see. So you got a lot of selling pressure here, and you're definitely going to get selling pressure when you get up to that level. But I personally expect Bitcoin to go way higher just off the back of what the government's doing with the currency. I mean, Bitcoin's a very prolific cryptocurrency. I've read that the big investment banks, they have sizable positions in Bitcoin, and they have their own blockchain for whatever tasks they're doing. So this cryptocurrency is not necessarily that prolific in the population proportionate wise, but it's prolific enough in the right places for me to think that this is not going away. I mean, Bitcoin's already proved itself, and this price action alone, like, it didn't just drop off here and die. It's, the price action's resurged, and it's had a retest, and it's moving up. This is not price action of something that's going away or has died in the ass, as they say in Australia. This is from the price action and all the stuff that I've read about. I mean, this is not going away. And then you throw into the mix on top of that what the government's doing with the currency. I mean, for people that have followed all of that stuff, yeah, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin overall. Anyways, I hope that helps you clear up your thinking in relation to Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with alternative views, but just looking at that chart, that's what I'm seeing. That's very bullish price action to me. And then, I mean, I'm very biased too, because you can't just print the money that they're printing into the economy and not see things like this go up. Anyways, hope that's helpful. Please like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.